Hi, friends. This is Karen from Case of Adventure, and this is the Countries for Kids podcast. Each week, we're going to travel to a different country and explore an exciting landmark together. Libby is your tour guide. She visits so many places with her family and wants to take you along. How would you like to visit the Matterhorn in Switzerland, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, the Sydney Opera House in Australia, or the Empire State Building in New York City? Our website is caseofadventure.com. We sell exciting country studies for homeschoolers. Each one contains a travel mystery novel to read and a fabulous adventure book filled with tons of activities to work through. On the Case of Adventure website, you'll find the novel Newspapers and Neckties in New York. It's a mystery story set in New York City. Join Ren, Rome, Jake, Libby, and Tiffany and their new friend Nate as they help transport a top-secret cargo to New York City. They explore the hidden places of New York and foil a gang of counterfeiters. It's the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is a quote from the book. Later that evening, I found myself sitting in the dark tunnel behind Nate, Rome, Jake, and Ren. Next to us were Dad and a couple of FBI agents. Policemen were scattered in the dark tunnel. We were on a stakeout, and I felt like it was the most exciting night of my life. To be hiding in the old FDR train tunnel made me feel terrified and excited in equal measures. In the story, they have to find this gang of counterfeiters, and a newspaper asks them to explore the secret hidden places of New York. So they get to go to all these places that are not well known and find amazing things. So that's on caseofadventure.com. Don't forget to download your fun activity page to go with each episode. You'll find that on caseofadventure.com/activities. Let's get started. I remember visiting the Grand Canyon with my parents when I was in high school. It was amazing. Just the sheer vastness of it. I remember my dad walking down the canyon with his red hat on, and I could spot him all the way down, the little red hat bobbing along. I remember the chipmunks being so cute. I even went to a church service on the edge of the Grand Canyon. That was spectacular. Scorpions that came out at night, and we would use the black light to spot them while we walked around. Just such a magical place. Today, Libby's visiting the Grand Canyon with her mom and dad, so I hope you enjoy the story. One moment, we were walking through the parking lot, smelling sunscreen and hot pavement, and the next, there it was, a gigantic, colorful, impossibly large canyon. It looked like someone had sliced the world open just to show us what was inside. The layers didn't even look real. Some were rusty red, some sandy yellow, and some a purpley, shadowy color. The whole canyon stretched so far across that I couldn't even see the end of it. Dad told me that it's about 277 miles long, 18 miles across at its widest. That's about 450 kilometers long and about 29 kilometers wide. In some places, it was over a mile deep. It made me feel teeny tiny in the best possible way. We walked along the south rim, which is the most visited part of the park. The path curled past overlooks with names like Martha Point and Yavapai, which Mom pointed out. Each one looked like a portal into a fantasy world. There were people from all over speaking different languages, and all of them stopping mid-sentence in amazement when they saw the view. Mom pointed out how the light changed every few minutes, sunbeams sliding across the cliffs, shadows stretching and shrinking. Dad explained how the Colorado River deepened and widened the canyon. He said that he also believed that Noah's flood had carved out the canyon as the water rushed off the land after the flood. That would have been powerful enough to cut deep into the earth, forming the steep cliffs and the winding shape of the canyon. I got to use the binoculars and spotted the river, a thin green coil far below, shimmering like a piece of tinsel. We saw two California condors soaring in the sky. Dad was excited because they're endangered. They have wings wider than our car. One of them circled slowly, riding the warm air that was rising from the canyon walls. I was nervous about our burro ride down the trail. My burro was called Daisy, and she seemed unimpressed with me. She flicked her ears like she'd seen a million nervous kids before and wasn't about to make a fuss over me. Still, once we started down, I was glad she knew what she was doing. Our guide told us that burros and mules have been used at the Grand Canyon since the 1800s, carrying everything from mail to supplies and, of course, tourists. The mules are very good because they're stronger than horses and are very sure footed, which is important on the trails that tilt towards cliffs that drop hundreds of feet down. We took part of the Bright Angel Trail. As I went down, I could see the canyon changing shape around me. From the rim, it looked like one giant scoop out of the earth, but inside it felt like a maze of hidden valleys, cliffs, and shelves. By the time Daisy carried me back to the top, my legs were wobbly and my hands smelt like burro ears. My water bottle was empty, but I was so glad I'd done it. It was like a secret world that I'd discovered. As we walked along the top, headed for a restaurant for an early dinner, I saw something dart behind the bushes. Around the rocks, these tiny little furry rockets were zipping. One sat up on its back legs and stared at me. It was wondering if I had a snack, Mom said. Another one chirped at its friend, and then zoom, they both dashed under the bush. I giggled because their tails flicked around like they were trying to show off. They were chipmunks, of course. Mom reminded me not to feed them, but I still wished I could hand one a peanut and watch it pack its little cheeks full. As the sun went down, Dad said he had a surprise. He pulled out a small flashlight, but when he turned it on, the light was purple. Black light or UV light, he said. We're going to look for scorpions. My stomach did a little flip. I wasn't sure if this was scary or cool. It turned out to be both. We walked carefully along the path. Everything looked normal until Dad pointed the black light at a rock. A scorpion lit up bright green. I gasped so loudly, Mom laughed. The scorpion almost looked like a toy glowing in the dark, but Dad said it was real and we should keep our distance. We found a few more glowing like tiny neon creatures in the nighttime world. I hope you enjoyed Libby's story. Here are some fun facts about the Grand Canyon. It's huge, like a giant outdoor maze. It's 277 miles long, which is longer than driving from New York City to Washington, D.C. There are colorful rocks everywhere. The canyon walls are full of reds, oranges, yellows, and pinks. At sunrise and sunset, the rock layers glow like a rainbow made of stone. What's at the top and what's at the bottom? At the top, there's dry desert, pine trees, and wide open views. At the bottom, there's the Colorado River, which rushes through the canyon like a long, twisting snake. The temperature at the bottom can be 20 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than at the top. Plants that can handle the heat grow down there. Cacti that store water like sponges, agave plants with long pointy leaves, and juniper trees that smell amazing in the sun. Some grow around the top as well. The Grand Canyon is in Arizona, which is a very hot state. Lots of animals live there, including chipmunks, bright blue lizards, condors, even bighorn sheep, which are excellent climbers. There are pink rattlesnakes and foxes that hunt like cats. There are elk and mule deer. The Grand Canyon is a place full of hidden trails. It has hundreds of miles of trails. Some are easy and some are for super strong hikers. It's also one of the best stargazing spots. The air is so clear and there are hardly any city lights, so it's very dark, perfect for seeing shooting stars and even the Milky Way. People can take rafting trips down the Colorado River. Some stretches of the river are calm and peaceful, and others have big wild rapids like a roller coaster. The rocks at the bottom of the canyon are some of the oldest that you can find anywhere on Earth. You might find sparkly minerals like mica or cool fossils such as ancient sea creatures, perhaps from the Great Flood. I hope you get to visit the Grand Canyon someday. Don't forget to download your activity page from caseofadventure.com/activities. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.